Last but not least, I call it Rome, Assisi, and North, 20 days in 20 minutes. Impossible. Yeah. Look at the dots that we were able to visit. It's mind-blowing. And I have over 2,000 photographs that I've been plodding through and came to the realization I have no shot at giving you what I would like to without having you fall asleep at the table. So I'm going to shake it up a little bit here. I'm going to jump around. I'm not going to do this from a day-by-day thing. I think that the papal audience was something that we'll long remember. It was not easy to get there, but it was well worth it. The early morning wake up, the massive crowds, feeling like a sardine, people pushing, shoving. It was something that required pilgrim patience, but it was worth it.
Hello everybody, we
made it alive!
The Vatican.
Yes, we're all alive, all accounted for.
Pilgrims.
Hello!
Hello, hola!
Hola!
Hola! Try to steal. Oh yeah, wrong language.
Buongiorno!
Buongiorno! Buongiorno! Yeah. We're not. He is down there. He's cutting across. Pope will be.
Argentina! 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 Argentina!
So we did have Mass each day, and we were at St. Mary Major this day. And Deacon Paul was reading the Gospel, proclaiming. Different readers each day. A little wide-angle shot of what that particular church looked like. We went to St. Paul outside the walls. That's what it looks like inside the walls. Humongous. And then we had the opportunity to view St. Paul's remains. I got the chance to proclaim the reading that particular day in St. Paul's. I like that. A little bit about J.T. Betts, our young altar server, also accompanist, plays the violin beautifully. We've watched him mature. He was only 10 years old when he made the trip to the Holy Land with his mom, Kathy, and he's really come a long way. Mass at St. Peter's was actually in the crypt down below the big church where popes are buried. It was a very nice, intimate, small space, and we all really could feel the presence. We got to see the chains in which St. Peter was bound, and we also viewed quickly as we walked out his tomb, which is down below. And you're not supposed to take pictures, but I blame Father Tim for this. He always gives me my marching orders. Little foot rub for St. Peter's statue is common. And I should mention our guide, Miguel, one of the best, and also our bus driver, Mario. Mario was a stud, good-looking guy. And more importantly, a great pilot of that big bus. He did a perfect job. I believe Donna agrees. Bene. Bene. Dine in local restaurants. Much more now that we customize our trips. And I'm going to show different photos of some of these, but I'm going to feature one particular restaurant, which was our last night, with some audio-video entertainment. We eat like kings and queens on these trips. They are always exciting just to see what comes out on these plates. I don't want to get everybody crazy here, but I'm showing you just a smattering of some of the dishes that we ordered and consumed. They were all very tasty. The restaurant dining was and will be a part of our pilgrimages going forward. So, how about a little cab ride through Rome? Get a little taste of how that looks.
How far? You know, kilometers.
Ah, no, near.
Near.
5 minutes.
Oh, good. Zoom. Don't worry about us.
No.
We just sit on the bus. That's the
We have spare time in the afternoons whenever we can arrange it. We do our touring in the mornings, mid-afternoon. We're free to go and visit and enjoy the culture. So let's go do some shopping in an open market.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno.
Lo vuoi gustare il parmigiano?
Oh, nice looking. Parmigiano.
Se non lo gusti te lo compri.
Talk about fresh salad, everybody. Just a Saturday in Rome at the market.
I'd be remiss if I didn't, just say what a wonderful man Miguel is. He does whatever it takes. The many faces of Miguel.
Please, no, you just laugh at it. You just laugh and every remember. It's a pleasure for you. Thank you very much indeed for coming. And thank you very much indeed for being so kind with Mario and myself. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So we saw Trevi Fountain, and we did see the art of Constantine. Obviously the Colosseum has to be viewed. It's a huge artifact and so important to the Christians who were slaughtered there. We saw it at night, and we had our photo taken inside. Behold the majesty of the Sistine Chapel. No photo, no photo. St. Peter's dome from the floor. St. Peter's floor from the dome. Inside and up close to the mosaics, everything mosaic. Take an elevator to the top, get out on the roof. Climb into this beautiful dome. Follow your guide. Keep your pastor behind you. Reach the top and see this. Or closer, this. The Pope's residence. And a happy Padre. Spent way too much time in Rome. We have to go to Como.
Way up on the top there, yeah.
Lake Como is gorgeous. We took a beautiful boat ride. And George Clooney's pad. And some more of it. He owns a whole compound. Nice shots of the people that make pilgrimages. Local guide. This guy was working on this on our way to Mass. This is where he was when we came back. Dinner, pizza joint, and off. We got to go to Milan.
So that's all I know about the Yankees, right? Not more than that.
This is good.
And I had no clue you all came from Boston.
This guy was something else, but knew his stuff. This cathedral in Milan, it's called the Cathedral of Milan, was worthy of all these photos. This place was spectacular. Look at it. Just beautiful. This is a saint who was skinned alive. I forget his name. This is a model of what's on top. The baptismal font, St. Ambrose, we baptized St. Augustine. And the mall. All right, we got to go to Padua now. Tomb of St. Luke. Just kind of walking around Padua, got a little something to eat there. More pictures of pilgrims. Pilgrims are the final and most important ingredient. Elaine and Ruth Ann, roommates. Marcia, father. St. Mark's Square early in the morning before the water. And unbelievably, Angela recovers. It's a miracle. We were so happy that we found you, stumbled upon you having a banana split in St. Mark's Square, and were able to join us for dinner. We had Mass earlier in the day in a chapel near St. Mark's. Marcia read. Real gondoliers. New local guide showed us around. We got a nice group shot at the end of the evening. More of that dinner experience. Telling you. And then we took a bus and a boat back. These were the approaching shots in the morning. Church, the vestment area. Nice mass, fabulous music all the way through. The body and blood of Christ. Pilgrims. St. Mark. Our local guide again with Miguel. Father Tim getting creative with his camera, looking for this shot. Now, pictures of the square later in the day when you had to get on the ramps. Well, I think we were all wiped out and ready for a nap. So we drove back to Padua and left the following morning and made our way to Florence. Among the many sights was this beautiful cathedral and also David. Our guide was very into his art and knew a lot about everything. We managed to get a cup of cappuccino. This was a picture we took on the way into Florence. Another mass, always good. Now we're in Siena. Another church, a rainy day, wind blowing, mass. We had a break for lunch, had a great waiter. And this is where they have the horse race. And we're on to Assisi, as we only spent about 3 hours in Siena along the way. The next 3 minutes are highlights of our trips, 2 trips to Assisi. This is the Porciuncula, where we had Mass last year. This is the Hotel Giotto, where we stayed both years. Happy with our view from our rooms. Of course, this is JT with a mime, and this is Betty with a real monk. A couple of good friends, new friends, pilgrims, chatting with the deacon, local dog walker. Silencio, we're about to enter the retreat phase in the Hermitage. Picture St. Francis overlooking the valley praying. And this is Maureen giving her first talk on St. Clair. Maureen's middle name is Claire, and she is standing at the place where Claire actually died the following year in the same spot. Mass in Assisi. Deacon Paul preaching. The whole group in front of St. Mary of the Angels. John found a place to take a break. This year's talk was on St. Catherine. We're getting ready to leave. Our local guide wasn't around when we left, a little bit out of sequence. The walkways and the directions in Assisi, these tiny alleys with stairs. I love these intimate chapels, and Christy and I were asked by Father to do the reading on husbands and wives and finishing that Mass, and we're finishing Assisi.